everyone, so welcome back to my channel, and I'm doing my 2018 roundup for skincare this time, and I hope you guys enjoy it. It'll be quite an extensive list of products, but in probably every category that I use either religiously or when I need a quick fix for, you know, those troubled days where I have really bad cystic acne, or if I'm severely dehydrated, or if I'm suffering with a lot of brown spots and, you know, kind of puffy eyes. So depending on the symptoms, I would then kind of talk about these products. But it's just worth noting that all these products I've been using for the entire year, and they have been in my routine whenever I needed a fix and I needed to have that product. So let's just get started. The two cleansers that I've been loving, one is from the drugstore. This is La Roche-Posay, the Effaclar Gel Mousse, and it's not really a mousse, it's more like a gel cleanser, and I really like it because it's readily available at the drugstore, whether Guardian or Watson's, and I really like gel cleansers. If you guys know anything about me, I like very low foaming, a cleanser with good pH balance, nothing too acidic, and also just a gel cleanser for me sits the best on my acne prone sensitive skin. So this is one that I definitely love. Another is from Huxley, the Be Clean Be Moist Cleansing Gel, also another gel texture. This is very luxurious. The scent and the whole process of cleansing is honestly beautiful. I really like it because likewise it's a gel cleanser. I featured this in my Huxley review, so I'll leave it up here. If you want more details, definitely check that video out. Okay, for oil cleansers, honestly there's no other cleansing oil that beats this so far. I always go through cleansing oils because, you know, it's the best way to remove stubborn makeup and also like really thick mascara. So yeah, I always go to cleansing oils. This is from Bonaire. It's the oil to milk cleanser, and it's a oil base, and what I really like about it is that the oil texture honestly feels so not thick, it's just really concentrated, and it doesn't feel like very thin. It isn't a thin oil, but once you rub it into the skin and once it emulsifies, it still has that really beautiful milky texture which breaks down everything super well, and when you wash off the face everything comes off, so there's no like oil residue stuck to your face, and this removes the most stubborn makeup. So I really love this. And another old favorite, which obviously you guys know I love cleansing balms, it's gonna make its way back into my favorites, is the Clean It Zero Balm from Vanilla Co. I especially use this when I'm traveling. I always put it into a small size container, or even if I need to cleanse my face like when I'm staying over at someone's place. This is the easiest to use. Similarly, it's a balm, but it breaks down into an oil and then it removes all the makeup. So sometimes I only use this and I quickly just splash some water, which isn't the greatest because there is a little bit of residue that sticks by, but you know, just using micellar water or something like that will get the remaining residue off. But these two are so good. I either use this or this, not two together, and after I use the cleansing oil, then I go in with my gel cleanser as my second step. Alright, for toner, I've been really liking the T2 toner from IDS. You guys know this. I always feature it in my Insta Get Ready With Me. It's very suitable for sensitive type skin, and also I just find that this resets my skin and clears my pores really well. I would say that this isn't the most hydrating, but it's been very beneficial for my skin because I always need a toner that is a little bit more clarifying, a little bit more balanced. But overall, I think that this isn't the most hydrating, which is why this is another toner. It's from Bonaire. It's called the Premium Aloe Squeeze Toner, and this is a more hydrating type toner, but it isn't as clarifying as the T2. So you can understand why I'm throwing these two in. I don't use them together, but typically when I have a more spotty or problematic time, then I'll be using this. But I've been using this mostly throughout the year because, you know, with my hormonal cycles this would be a more consistent addition because I always need to clarify my skin. But recently I've been really liking a hydrating type toner because I find that my skin is a little bit tight, so this has been really hitting the nail on the head. I'm definitely going to continue using this into the first quarter of 2019 because this is probably a last quarter addition into my routine, but it's been so good and I plan to completely use this up. Actually, this is already used up, so I really want to finish this as well. Okay, for chemical exfoliators, I'm definitely going to be talking about the Paula's Choice 2% BHA exfoliant. This is my favorite chemical exfoliator ever since I collaborated with Paula's Choice, and it's been doing my skin honestly the most good out of all these products that I'm going to recommend. So definitely check this one out. This helps with, you know, enlarged pores. It helps to kind of really deep clean it. It also helps to reduce cystic acne, reduce inflammation, and also it helps to exfoliate the skin, which is really important for problematic skin, especially if you have sun damage. So that for me has been really working out, and a lot of the times I'm super lazy with my routine and this is the only thing I use. I make sure I really saturate cotton pads with it and really buff my skin, not very harshly but just in gentle circular motions, so that I get all the excess dead skin off, so that it really speeds up recovery for problematic skin. From Crave Beauty, I got this on Shopee because it isn't as accessible in Singapore, but I've been liking this. This is the Kale AHA exfoliator. So the difference between a BHA and an AHA is that this is more of a surface kind of exfoliator. It doesn't go as deep into the pores to kind of break down the sebum production. But I must say that I've been using this a little bit more since I really wanted to focus on the surface scarring. So that's why I use this, and I find that even though this doesn't deep clean as well, but it really does reduce my inflammation, and I really can't ask any more of a exfoliator and a sort of, you know, acne treatment type product. So this BHA and this AHA have been my top favorites. Okay, so I think probably in the last quarter of this year I've been having like a serious anxiety breakdown due to my job and, you know, finding a job. So I had a really severe breakout, and I sent a picture to the people at Paula's Choice to let them know how my skin was doing, and I seek their advice, and they basically sent me this product, the BHA 9, which is similar to the BHA 2%, but this is super concentrated. As you can see, it's a really small tube. I use these for those really stubborn cystic pimples that usually stick around with me, because when I'm really having an anxiety attack, my skin is, you know, it doesn't get better until like 2 months later, or even like 2 period cycles. So it's really quite atrocious. I've been using this all over those areas where there are stubborn marks and imperfections, and I find that this really does help as well. Okay, quick mention on my favorite moisturizer. It's from Indie Lee. The squalene oil has been my favorite because it's a very natural derivative and it doesn't give me excessive oil production. If you guys know anything about squalene oil, it basically has a high percentage of linoleic acid, so basically that makes it a drier form of oil, which sits really well on combination or oily skin, so that you get that moisturization without it looking too oily, and it doesn't stay oily. So it's a dry type of oil, and I really like this. So when I'm not using oils, or actually when it comes to moisturization, it's a really, I wouldn't say complicated process, but I like to mix oils and I like to mix, you know, my cream moisturizers. So I use a combination of these together in my foundations on its own, a couple of drops of the Indie Lee and a couple of pumps of my moisturizer, which is the Stratia Liquid Gold. And I'm not sure if this was featured last year, but I really love this. It's so good. It's just a basic moisturizer, and it contains ceramides, cholesterol and fatty acids, which is basically the makeup of your skin barrier, and honestly you don't need anything else. A lot of kind of products like to claim to do a lot of things, but yeah, this is just standard and it's so simple and it really gives me all day hydration. Okay, more notable mentions. I really like these two products. They are kind of hybrids as well. They either sit as a fusion hybrid product where it's a mixture of a serum and an oil, or the oil type of balm and then it becomes an oil once you kind of massage it into your hand. But without rambling, this is the CMP oil in cream, and I really like it because it's propolis. It's that beautiful ingredient that is a humectant, and it always draws out a lot of impurities while being something that's antibacterial, so I can't complain there. I love propolis. I really love this formulation simply because I'm an oil type of girl and I really like to use oils as a natural form of highlight. So you can see my complexion today. I don't have any sort of, you know, highlighter or, you know, a really sparkly highlighter. I like to use skincare to do that in my Guardian Beauty Talk. I'll leave a link to the vlog here. I actually featured this in my demonstration, so I really like it. You can get it at Guardian. And I've used this non-stop in my Get Ready With Me on Insta story. So it's the serum in oil from Neogen, and like the name suggests, it's a serum and also an oil, and you can sense a trend here, but this is super lightweight. Don't be mistaken, it looks like pure oil, but if you see it in the close-ups, it's like many different beads of oil and serum, because they don't kind of mesh together. Like if you put oil in water, you can see a separation. I find that this really absorbs into my skin really well. I'm not sure why, but it's been a very good staple for me. Alright, so these three products are really something that I honestly, I would say can't live without, because they've been products that have been introduced to me and I just, you know, without thinking too much about it, used it, but it turned out to be really great products. So to start off with, the Paula's Choice Calm Serum, and it's kind of more like a cream serum, and I really like this because, like the name suggests, it calms my breakouts and also it gives me hydration. The Vichy Mineral 89, it's a very good, simple kind of serum starter, especially if you're new to makeup or new to skincare. It's great as a primer, it's great mixed into your foundation, it's great used on its own. And last but not least, the Propolis Energy Ampoule from CMP, and this is another staple. It's gonna be a very recurring theme. I love propolis, like I mentioned. They also do it in a mist form, so I also love this. You can see the trio is back together, and the sleeping mask actually, which I'll mention a little later. But yeah, just head down to Guardian and shop this range. It really is the perfect combination of all things that is good for your skin, and also it's readily available in our drugstores. Okay, my favorite sunscreen of the year would go to Anisa, which is a sister brand to Shiseido, I believe, and I like the Anisa Perfect BB Base, which is a tinted, more concentrated type of sunscreen with a little bit of coverage abilities, but I really like this because it's SPF 50 and it's really high and it's really great sun protection. But my favorite, like just pure sunscreen from the Anisa line, would be the Perfect UV Sunscreen Aqua Booster. I find that this texture suits my skin the best, and also it is a bestseller, so nonetheless it's something that doesn't leave a white cast on the face even though it comes out milky. Very thin texture, and it doesn't look tacky or doesn't feel tacky on the skin as well. Alright, we're hitting the home stretch, so bear with me. For eye creams, I really like the IDS ER. It's called Eye Rescue, and it's a very expensive type of eye cream, but it actually works. And I'm saying that with like a kind of down tone, simply because if I repurchase it, it's gonna be a bit pricey, but it really works because it's one of those that is a pretty thick texture, I must say, but it kind of smooths out into a very thin eye cream eventually, so you don't have to use a lot of this product. Really, the smallest amount would do. And for more affordable options, I'm going to be talking about the Believe Peat Miracle Eye Cream. It's something that I've been using non-stop. This is my second container of this because it's such a huge size, honestly, for an eye cream. But basically this is so affordable, and it's great if you're starting out with eye creams, but also up till date I honestly can't live without this because it's affordable and it does the job, and you know, it isn't something that I would say is a miracle worker. You definitely need to use this for about 3 months to see results, but it works, and it's a very simple, very skin friendly kind of ingredient list. Okay, and for overnight kind of use, I sometimes like to layer my eye creams, and I really like the Laneige eye sleeping mask, and it comes from the same range which a lot of people like, their sleeping mask range. I do love the Laneige sleeping mask, but I really like this and I find it to be quite underrated. It has a kind of ceramic ball applicator, so it's really cooling, and when I want like almost instant plumpness under my eye the next day, I will use quite a lot of this and I'll take it down my cheek so that, you know, it just gives you a very nice radiance under the eye. Okay, last but not least, sleeping mask. Similarly, like I mentioned, from the CNP range, Propolis Deep Moisture Pack. It's a sleeping mask that is more of a honey propolis derivative. So like I mentioned, a lot of times it's a humectant that is antibacterial, and I honestly think that if you are suffering with a severe breakout, use the exfoliators I mentioned and then slather this on and go to bed, you're done. It's a very good, nourishing, moisture renewing kind of sleeping pack to have. This is the Story of Who Neck and Face Sleeping Mask, and it's such a beautiful packaging. Honestly, I'm just gonna show you the texture real quick, but I've really been liking this, especially if I want that like luxury pampering. And unfortunately, sometimes, you know, especially if you're really stressed, you just like to have a, you know, a routine that you're happy about, and this is always something that pops into my routine. Okay, last but not least, Laneige Water Sleeping Mask. You guys knew this was gonna come out. I always talk about it, and I'm doing a sleeping mask rundown very soon, hopefully if I get to it, but this is definitely gonna be a pick that I will always talk about. I am running very low, so I'll probably get a new one when I'm done. And yeah, this is just great because it's a very simple formulation. Not simple in a way that the ingredient list is simple, it's just very direct, you know. It's like almost like a serum kind of finish, but if you use enough of it, you will honestly feel like your skin has a boost of hydration the next day. Alright, so that's the complete rundown of everything I've been loving for the year 2018 in terms of skincare. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!